Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be doing a video on the movie Otherhood. It's directed by Cindy Chupak and it's starring Angela Bassett, Felicity Huffman, and Patricia Arquette. So the story is about three overbearing mothers taking a road trip to pop up on their sons after not hearing from them on Mother's Day. And one thing I really liked about this movie was the uniqueness of it, the uniqueness of the plot and the storyline of the movie. We've heard about overbearing mothers before, but these mothers, they became friends just because their sons were friends, and that's how they bonded. And their sons grew up together, and they all moved, but after they moved they stopped hearing from them and they really felt bad about it, and so they decided to do something one day on Mother's Day after constantly not hearing from them for years. And so they decided to take a road trip and drive off and just like drop each mother on the doorstep of their son and forcing them to like let them stay. And so I found that really interesting. I hadn't really seen a movie like that before. You've seen movies about the overbearing mother, but not kind of like to this extent. I also like the characterization of the movie. Something that was very noticeable to me was that they made sure that each mother had their own identity and their own personality, and each son had their own identity and their own personality. But that was also on the same side a bad thing, because they kind of let the characters be two-dimensional and not really like made them in depth, and like didn't really go on too much into like characterization of the like they only fit these little boxes. Like this one son was this superstar magazine guy who had all the ladies, and then the other guy was like this doting artist who was poor, lived in a rough neighborhood, couldn't really hold a job, couldn't really finish his book because he had a book deal but he could never write it. You know, we've all seen characters like that. And so like though the characters fit their stereotypes so well, they were also very well-known stereotypes, and I thought they could have like did better. Also the character, like the costume design for their characters really fit and helped us to understand who the characters were, which I really appreciated. One thing I didn't really like about the movie was the acting. Anyone who knows me knows that for me, a TV show and a movie is made or broken by the acting in the movie. And Angela Bassett, a phenomenal actress, award-winning, we all know this, but in this movie, the role just felt really, really forced. It felt like, you know, you can just tell when somebody's acting and they're not really like, you don't feel like they really embody the character that they are. And that's how I felt for not just her, but all the characters in the movie, but more specifically her, because I know her to be such a great actress. And that was a little disappointing because I was really looking forward to like seeing some good acting in this movie. And it just wasn't there for me. I often found myself cringing at some of the lines and like some of the portrayals and the fake crying and the fake arguing. It just didn't feel real to me, and so I wasn't really invested in the way that I should have been. It's very cliche. It was very corny. If you know me, you know I like corny jokes. It wasn't that type of corny. It was really bad. It felt like they were forcing to like insert like jokes that older women would tell, and like all the jokes that you've heard before, there was nothing like new about it. No, nothing that was unique about it. It was just like, a mother who's being neglected by her child, the things that she would say to them and the things that she would do to try and like make them feel bad about not like reaching out to their mother. The cinematography in this movie was also very awkward. There was a lot of movement when there shouldn't have been. A lot of times I found that and it really took me out of like the whole story of like the whole world of the movie, which is like the opposite of what cinematography is supposed to do. For me, there was a lot of tracking shots that I felt should have been static. There were a lot of pans and tilts that just didn't really fit with the moment. And I don't know I didn't understand what the goal was for that. And then also I think that most people probably wouldn't notice, but me being a film student, I'm like hypersensitive to those type of things, so it really took me like out of the movie, made it hard to watch. It was like they were zooming in times that really didn't cause for any like close-ups or dramatic anything in that way, and so didn't feel real. And so this also kind of messed with the believability of the whole movie. Like, honestly, like, I know there's some people who like aren't really close to their mother, but I know, like, is it really out there that sons don't talk to their mother but really care about them, really love them? Like, I just don't know anyone who wouldn't even at least call their mother on Mother's Day. There might be people out there, but I don't know anybody unless they just don't have a good relationship with their mother at that time. And so that really made it hard for me to believe as well. The pacing of the movie was very, very slow. I was like 30 minutes into the movie and I found myself like moving the cursor trying to see how much longer I had. There could have been cut out that weren't necessary for the storyline. There was a lot of scenes that just were there to be there, but it didn't add to the plot. It didn't like advance the movie at all. It felt like it was for characterization, but characterization that we didn't really need. And so that really threw me off. Like, I found myself checking the time to see how much longer I have for this movie multiple times. You're just kind of like waiting for like, what's next? Okay, where are we going with this? And like, some things just didn't have a place that they were going with it, and that was a little disappointing. But because the uniqueness of the plot, I wasn't really able to kind of guess how the ending would go, which is really rare for me because I'm a film major and I watch movies a lot and I watch television shows a lot and I write. I can kind of guess a lot of times where the movie's gonna end, how is it gonna go, and I couldn't guess that, so that kept me watching. But like, it didn't keep me entertained while I was watching because the movie, it was just like going so slow. And it was just like, they cut from, because like there was like, so there's three moms and there's 3 sons, and so they were cutting between the 3 different lives of the different sons and the mothers and their interactions with them, but they would cut and leave at weird parts of the scenes. And so that also kind of drew me out of it. I just found myself just waiting for the point. Another thing that I did not really care for in this movie was the makeup and hair for Angela Bassett. We know that Hollywood struggles with doing makeup and hair for Black women. They really struggled with this one. Like, for her wig for the majority of the movie up until she got a makeover, it was stiff. You could tell that it was a wig. You could see the closure. Her foundation didn't match her skin color, and so at the top where her closure was, like, it was 2 different colors. They didn't blend it well. They really had her looking like a grandma, and I'm like, I know that she was supposed to be like a more reserved house mother, and a little bit older than the rest of the mothers, but they had sis looking bad. They need to hire Black stylists or people who know how to do black hair to do black hair, and not like, you really find a lot, if you really pay attention, that a lot of times in like movies and television shows, Black girls be wearing wigs because they really just don't, they either don't want to pay the money to have Black people who can do Black people hair, or they don't want to even take the time to do it. Like, a lot of times, especially in older movies, early 2000s, TV shows from the early 2000s, they wear a lot of wigs, and it be looking stiff and it be looking rough because they still don't know how to do the wigs correctly, which baffles me. And then just the makeup, like, invest in, if you're gonna have a Black person, like, somebody who can do multiple skin tones. Like, that's really important, because when you, like, the camera amplifies everything by 10 times, and so if your makeup is kind of okay but not blended well, it's really not gonna be blended well on camera with all the lights and stuff. It just really looked bad to me. The second wig that they had after the makeover was a little bit better. It was blended a little bit more, but it was still stiff. You know, the curl, it looked fake. It didn't even look like it was human hair. It was probably synthetic. Like, they really got to do better. All in all, like I said, it was a unique movie. Haven't really seen a movie like this before. But I don't think that it's worth watching. I didn't feel fulfilled at the end. I didn't really like how it ended. I shed a couple of tears because I'm emotional, and so like that's bound to happen. But there were very few laughs, and I was told that it was really funny. I didn't really find it funny, and I love to laugh. I laugh at the most corniest things, so if this movie couldn't make me laugh, I doubt it will make anybody else laugh. Because of the slow pacing, I just wouldn't recommend that anybody watch it, because it's like an hour and 40 minutes that you can save and watch something else that's a lot more entertaining. If you want to watch it for the uniqueness of the plot, feel free to go right ahead. But my recommendation is that don't waste your time on it. Find something else on Netflix to watch. I would give this movie like a C-. Well, thank you so much for watching my first review on Otherhood. Comment down below on other movies or TV shows you would like for me to review. Make sure you like and subscribe, and so you can see like the other videos that I do. And then just leave comments down below. Did you like this review? What would you like me to touch on more? I'm really interested and always looking for ways to grow. So yeah, thank you for watching.